Good morning. Today, once again, we will discuss the history, chapter number 3. You might be thinking that I have been only discussing about chapter number 3. Yes, we are on the verge of finishing chapter number 3. Only two topics are remaining besides Ferazi movement. After completion of the Ferazi movement, we will discuss Indigo Rebellion of 1859 and 60, and after that Pabna Rebellion of 1870. After discussing it, we will finish chapter number 3 and we will enter for chapter number 4. So today from chapter number 3 we will discuss Ferazi movement. But before discussing, all the children are asked to sit with pen and paper so that what information I would impart, they should write down in their copy then and there. Plus, I have also brought a few questions of Madhyamik examination which appeared in Madhyamik examination that I would also tell you, and you must write down. Now let us discuss about Ferazi movement. The period of Ferazi movement is 1818 to 1906. This is the period of Ferazi movement. So to discuss about Ferazi movement, we have some terms. Which we must know before discussing the Ferazi movement. Ferazi, first and foremost, the term Ferazi. The term Ferazi. What is the meaning of the term Ferazi? Ferazi is an Arabic term which has been driven from Fard, F-A-R-D, Fard, which means one who follows the instruction of Allah or God. A commandment of God or Allah is known as Fard. And Ferazi, same meaning, one who follows the instruction, one who follows the order or commandments of God or Allah is known as Ferazi. Okay, afterwards, one who or the teacher of Ferazi and the disciple of Ferazi. The teacher of Ferazi is known as Ustad and the disciple of Ferazi is known as Shagir. Teacher of Ferazi movement is known as Ustad and disciple of Ferazi movement is known as Shagir. It is not used here Peer or Chela. Peer or Shagir. The Ferazi leaders have avoided to use Peer and Chela. After that, one who accepts or embraces the Ferazi doctrine is known as Momin. You all know very well that yesterday in my class of Wahhabi movement, we discussed the ideology of Wahhabi movement. Wahhabi and Ferazi movement more or less, not totally, more or less are same. Wahhabi movement was a revivalist movement. Ferazi movement was also a revivalist movement. Wahhabi movement was a religious movement. Ferazi movement was also a religious movement. Now let us see. In Ferazi movement, we see that the founder, the pioneer of this movement was Haji Shariatullah. The period of Haji Shariatullah he was born in 1781 at Bahadurpur in Bangladesh. He had got his early education from Bahadurpur, Bangladesh. Afterwards, he had gone to Calcutta to get the knowledge of Arabic and Persian, and to get the knowledge of theology, or to get the education of theology, he had to go to Furfura Sharif in Hooghly. After completing the degree in theology, he had gone to Al-Azhar University. Al-Azhar University is situated in Egypt. In fact, Cairo, its capital. Al-Azhar University is situated at Cairo, the capital of Egypt. Over there, after getting the higher degree of theology or in theology, he returned to his native village, Bahadurpur, in the year 1818. And after that, he had started a movement, Kinder organization, Kinder Brotherhood organization that is known as Ferazi. And the meaning of the Ferazi, as I have already told you, that one who follows the commandments or orders of Allah or God is known as Ferazi. So Haji Shariatullah, in the year 1818, he started the movement that is known as Ferazi Movement. And what was the doctrine? What was the principle of this Ferazi Movement? If you see my previous videos of Wahhabi movement, you will see that in Wahhabi movement we discussed that Haji Shariatullah, Abdul Wahab, who was a founder of Wahhabi movement in Arab, he had insisted that one must follow the ideology of Quran and Hadith. Okay, here likewise also we see that Haji Shariatullah had insisted to follow the ideology of the Holy Quran and the Hadith. Okay, and the Hadith that means Sunnah or the Sunnah of Prophet. That means the path as shown by Prophet Muhammad. All the Muslim must follow it, because Haji Shariatullah, like Shah Waliullah and Sayyid Ahmad Barelvi, Haji Shariatullah also realized that Muslims have deviated from the original path, real path showed or as showed by Prophet Muhammad. So here Haji Shariatullah also insisted that a Muslim must follow the 5 instructions or five pillars of Islam. Islam is standing on 5 pillars. What are these 5 pillars? Profession in faith, that means Kalma Tayyaba. I have told you in my previous class in Wahhabi movement that number 1 ideology of Islam, 5 ideologies are there on which a pure Muslim or Muslim must have impose his faith in the 5 ideology or doctrines of Islam. Number 1 is Kalma Tayyaba. That means La ilaha illallah Muhammadur Rasulullah. There is none but God, and Prophet Muhammad is his last prophet. A Muslim must impose his full faith in it. That means Islam means total surrender before God. Okay, so a Muslim must impose his total faith in the kalima, that God is one and Prophet Muhammad is his last prophet, and there is none. And Islam is a monotheist religion. Number two, that is namaz. The English meaning salat. Okay, 5 times are there: Fajr, Zohar, Asar, Fajr, Zohar, Asar, Maghrib, Isha. 5 times a Muslim must perform, must prostrate before God, before Allah. Number 3, alms. That means zakat. A Muslim must give 2.5 of his share from his earning. Okay, that is known as zakat, in English alms. Number 4, that is roza. That is in English fasting. In a year, 30 days a Muslim must keep fasting for 30 days. And number 5, that is Hajj pilgrimage. That means if a Muslim is wealthy enough to bear the expenses to go to the birthplace of Prophet Muhammad, that is Makkah, so he must visit there, and that is known as Hajj, and in English pilgrimage. Okay, in 5 things he insisted that a Muslim must follow. That is why it is a religious movement started by Haji Shariatullah. Afterwards, he was all. And one more information that I would like to give you, that it is a movement. This movement or Haji Shariatullah was also highly influenced by the Hanfi doctrines. Hanfi doctrines. Okay, Hanfi doctrine. In Islam, 4 thoughts are there. Among them, one is known as Hanfi doctrine. So he was highly influenced by Hanfi doctrine, who Haji Shariatullah Sahib. After that, we see that one of his very important ideology as Wahhabis, that after the coming of English in India, okay, this land India became impure, a land of enemies. So he wanted to convert from a land of enemy to the land of Islam. That means Darul Harb, land of enemies, to land of Islam, where all all the human being, Hindu brothers, Muslim brothers would stay here, unitedly in friendly environment. That was the ideology of Haji Shariatullah. Anyway, afterwards, he died in the year 1837, and afterwards, his ideology of Haji Shariatullah spread far and near areas like Bahadurpur, Bakharganj and Mehman Singha, that is in Bangladesh. These are the areas of the Bangladesh all. Okay, over there, the ideology of Ferazi movement reached over there. After the demise or after the death of Haji Shariatullah, his abled son, Dudu Mian, or his other name, Muhammad Muhsin. The period of Dudu Mian is 1818 to 1860. That means when Haji Shariatullah founded the Wahhabi movement in the year 1818, his son Dudu Mian or Muhammad Muhsin was born. Muhammad Muhsin, he was also a great theologian. Okay, and his greatest contribution to the Ferazi movement is that he had converted the Ferazi movement from a religious movement to socio, eco and polity movement. He had transformed the religious movement to socio, eco and polity movement. He made it socio-economy, eco, polity movement he made. And he was against the zamindars. His greatest and most memorable slogan that the lands or the fields belong to the tiller of the land, that means farmers, and no one should claim to take tax or revenue from them. That means he was against the zamindars. He was against the revenue policy of the British government. He was against the revenue policy of the British government. So this slogan or this proclamation that zamindar should not be given the revenue, the English government should be boycotted, had helped him gather a good number of followers, a good number of shagir. After that, we see that 1840 to 1847, a clash had taken place between zamindars and Ferazis. Maybe clash had taken place between zamindar and Ferazis. It is also said that the Ferazis had attacked the zamindars of Faridpur. Those zamindars were Narayan Ghosh and Madan Narayan Ghosh. These zamindars were attacked. Their house and treasure was looted by the Ferazis. Afterwards, in the year 1846, Dunlop indigo factory was burned to ashes. After that, 1838, 1847, during this period, he was arrested for 4 times. Dudu Mian or Muhammad Muhsin was arrested between 1838 and 47. He was arrested 4 times. But English government had to release him because of the lackness of evidences. After that, in the year 1857, when the revolt of 1857 was going on, English government, for the precautionary step, he was arrested and kept in Alipur's jail, and he was released between 1859 and 60. After that, he died on 24th September 1860. Dudu Mian or Muhammad Muhsin died. One more thing which I forgot to tell you about Shariatullah. I have discussed about his ideology, but I have also I should have discussed that what evils had entered or what evils the Muslims were practicing, or we can say that Haji Shariatullah, what things which entered as an integral part of Islam, like he was against Piri Muridi. Okay, Piri Muridi. He was against Milad. Milad means a kind of assembly, an assembly where the religious talk goes on about prophet, about God. And that assembly is known as Milad. He was against that. And Piri Muridi means many Sufis were there and his disciples. So he did not believe in Piri Muridi. He was against the procession of Muharram. In Muharram, Tajia, you might have seen the gate. Okay, so he was against that. He was against taking out the procession during the period of Muharram. He was also against Urus. Urus means if any Pir died, so his death anniversary is celebrated with pomp and glory. That particular thing is known as Urus. So he was also against Urus. Okay, so this little bit information I forgot to impart, so you must write it down. Afterwards, we see after the death of Dudu Mian or Muhammad Mohsin on 24th September 1860, we see that his movement, of Ferazi movement, under the leadership of Dudu Mian, it reached far and near of Bangladesh and Bengal. The places where it is spread: Bhakka Ganj, Barishal, Dhaka, Faridpur, Khulna, Maimansingh, Noakhali, Pabna, Tripura, and in the areas of West Bengal, it reached and it got good response from these areas. After that, after the demise of Dudu Mian or Muhammad Mohsin on 24th September 1860, No Mian or Muhammad Abdul Ghaffar, his son became the Ustad or the leader of Ferazi movement. His period 1860 to 1906. Anyway, during the period of No Mian, that movement could not the spread, and from socio-political movement, it shrink to religious movement, like his grandfather's period. Anyway, so it continued till 1906, and afterwards it vanished. If we go to discuss about nature of the Wahhabi movement, number one, we will see revolutionary awareness. One historian is there, Shiv Prakash Roy. In his book, he has entitled the Wahhabi movement as revolutionary awareness. Afterwards, another historian, Dr. Binoy Bhushan Chaudhary, he has called this movement as peasant movement. Afterwards, another historian by the name of Dr. Hunter has called Ferazi movement as the religious movement. These are its nature. Afterwards, there is a historian by the name of Dr. Narahari Kabiraj, or Professor Narahari Kabiraj. He called this movement, Ferazi movement, its nature what he called agrarian movement, dressed up with religious catchy words. He called this movement as agrarian movement with dressed up with religious catchy words. Okay, so this was said by Professor Narahari Kabiraj. These are the nature. If the question comes for 2 marks, that what is the nature, or what is the nature of the Ferazi movement? So what I have discussed, it will be better to write this one. After that, now we will discuss about failure. Failure, if you go to see, we will see that number one failure, the causes of the failure: sudden death of Dudu Mian. Dudu Mian died on 24th September 1860. So we see that after the sudden demise of Dudu Mian, this movement declined very soon. After that, number two, narrow religious outlook. We will see that Hindu brothers participated in the Ferazi movement, but all the Hindu brothers did not participate. Lower class Hindu brothers, Hindu farmer brothers, they participated, but the upper class Hindu brothers, they aloof, they had distanced themselves, and plus few Hindu brothers participated in it, but few ideology. One example could be given, that during the period of Dudu Mian, when the Durga Puja used to take place. So during the Durga Puja, the Hindu brothers used to install big pandals. Okay, big pandal to celebrate the Durga Puja. So Dudu Mian was against donating for installing installing the pandals. It had aggravated, it had distanced the Hindu brothers from this movement. So we can say a few narrow religious outlooks also caused the distance of the Hindu brothers. Afterwards, absence of political consciousness. These leaders, especially Dudu Mian Muhammad Mohsin, the political maturity was not there. The lackness of political maturity or awareness of consciousness was there. So it also caused the downfall or decline of the Ferazi movement. Lack of cooperation of the of the upper class Hindus. So as I have already told you, upper class Hindu brothers, they were the zamindars, they were the big guns. So they did not, and this movement was an agrarian movement. This movement was for the cause of the peasants, and it was against the English government. So most of the other upper Hindu class brothers, they were mainly zamindars. So they had avoided to be the part of this movement. Afterwards, united or joint repression by British and indigo planters. Here what we see, that indigo planters, as I've already told you, that Dunlop indigo factory was burnt to ashes. Okay, burnt to ashes here I have already discussed. And Kali Prasad was killed in the year 1846. So the indigo planters, they also became against of Ferazi movement and British movement, British government. They were against this movement. Why? Because it was against British government. Ferazi movement, or the ustad or the leader of the Ferazi, they wanted to drive away the foreigners or the English from India. So that caused the friendship between indigo planters and the British, and both jointly or unitedly suppressed the indigo. Suppressed the Ferazis. So ultimately that movement declined. This is the completion, and it continued till 1906. After the death of Naumia, the son of Dudu Mian Muhammad Mohsin, or after the death of Abdul Ghaffar. After that, few questions are there which appeared in madhyamik examination that I would also like to share, and you must write down in your copy. In 2017, one question appeared, that was the Ferazi movement a movement of religious revival? Yes, it appeared for 2 marks in the year 2017. Yes, it was a revivalist movement during the period of Haji Sheraitullah, but during the period of Dudu Mian or Muhammad Mohsin, from religious movement it was transformed into socio-eco and political movement, and it was an agro movement. Okay, you will write on this one. In the year 2018, one question appeared, that is true, false for 1 mark. That is, Ferazi is the name of an ancient tribe. Okay, no, it was not an ancient tribe, it is a movement. Okay, it is a movement of 19th century, so this is false. In 2018, one question appeared, that is, why is Dudu Mian remembered? And why is Dudu Mian remembered? This question appeared for 4 marks. So what I have discussed about Dudu Mian or Muhammad Mohsin, whose period 1818 to 1860, he died on 24th September 1860. You write on all that. Afterwards, in 2020, one question appeared, was the Ferazi rebellion simply a religious movement? No, it was not a simply religious movement, as I have already told you. This question appeared in 2020 for 2 marks. Okay, so I hope you all have understood. If you have any doubts, you have your comment box. Okay, write down, type over there your problem. If you have any problem related to Ferazi movement of 1818 to 1906, so write down in your comment box. Okay, plus other thing, I have also discussed the previous year question. Note down and try to solve it. Try to solve the question, because it may come in your madhyamik pariksha 2021. Plus, only 2 topics are remaining from chapter number 2, chapter number 3, as I've already told you in the beginning of my class, Indigo Rebellion and Pabna Rebellion of 1870. After completing these 2 chapters, I will start a new chapter, that is chapter number 4. So till today only till Ferazi Movement, and next day again we will meet with another topic of chapter number 3. So till today, please give me permission. Thank you very much. See you again in next class.
হয়ে গেল। চালু ছিল তো ইয়ে বাবা, চালু ছিল তো গুরু।